Let's give you a live look outside. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District has issued a smoke advisory through tomorrow because of those wildfires. So let's check in with Paul joining us now. We see a lot of that haze in the air right now, but that's some of the aftermath of Hilary right now, right?
Right. Some of the moisture you're seeing is because of the humidity in the atmosphere. That's due to the remnants of Hilary, but there is some haze due to the wildfire smoke drifting down from the north as well. An air quality advisory from the air district means that most of that smoke is going to be elevated in the atmosphere and not at ground level where we have to breathe it. That said, let's take a look at the air quality forecast for the next 4 days. And today, the trouble spots were mainly in the North Bay. As we head through the next few days, we are in for moderate air quality levels at ground level Tuesday and Wednesday. And we should see at least some improvement by Thursday and Friday as the different air mass begins to work its way in. A cooler air mass by Thursday and Friday. After a hot day Wednesday, we're going to get back down to some normal temperatures by the end of the week. We'll keep you updated on that air quality. Right now, looking outside from the top of Mount Diablo, seeing a mix of clouds and sunshine. Those clouds, of course, feeding on the moisture associated with former hurricane and former tropical storm Hilary. Still a chance for a couple of showers as we head through the rest of this evening. Later tonight, areas of dense fog developing, but generally quieter weather returning on Tuesday. And it's not like our weather was that active today. Just some unusual August showers. Nothing compared to what they had to deal with in Southern California. Warming trend through Wednesday. It's going to be hot inland Wednesday, and that possibility of some smoke and haze drifting through the skies overhead as well, but mainly elevated, not at ground level. Here's a look at first alert Doppler. The loop over the last couple of hours shows the showers kind of quieting down within that time frame. Have had that hit or miss shower activity, but the bulk of the actual thunderstorms, those have been happening through the Central Valley and up into the Sierra. Even a tornado warning in Merced County early this afternoon. Not something that we typically associate with California weather, but it's typical of those landfalling tropical systems. Everything is swirling around here. That's the remnants of Eugene feeding on the remnants of Hilary. So two former tropical systems kind of feeding into one another. The showers and storms are going to quiet down tonight. We'll see that fog begin the day tomorrow. Should back up to the coast as we head towards midday. Fewer showers and thunderstorms. Even in the Sierra and the mountains of Northern California, we're not going to see nearly as much of that activity Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures are going to warm up a little bit tomorrow. A lot on Wednesday. Kind of a one-day spike in temperatures, almost 100 degrees in Concord on Wednesday. But then we back down to near average temperatures by Friday. A little bit of a gradual warm-up in store through the weekend and into next week. But no extreme heat in sight, even with that 99-degree high temperature on Wednesday. Here's the really good news. That mugginess that you feel in the atmosphere, the tropical moisture, is gradually going to decrease. We should be into the not bad category on the muggy meter by the time tomorrow evening rolls around, and then dropping down to even comfortable humidity levels by the middle of the week to go along with that heat. At least we don't have to deal with the heat and humidity. Again, but never rule anything out. It seems this year with the tropical system hitting California. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s right now. All that cloud cover keeping our readings cool. Later on tonight, we're only going to drop down to the low to mid 60s. It's one of the consequences of all of that humidity in the atmosphere. It just does not cool down very efficiently. High temperatures tomorrow are going to be close to where they should be this time of year. 60s along the coast, mostly 80s down the peninsula and around the south end of the bay, with mid 80s in the Santa Clara Valley, including 84 in San Jose. A mix of 80s and a few low 90s inland of the East Bay. Some of the hottest spots around 90 degrees, which really isn't that hot for August 22nd. 70s around the bay with temperatures mostly in the 80s north of the Golden Gate. Until you go even farther north, you're a little farther into the 80s, but I think even those hotter spots in the Mendocino County and Lake County are going to stay below 90 degrees. Quick check of the 7-day forecast. We do return to those near average temperatures Friday and Saturday. Then a little more of a baby warm-up by Sunday and Monday of next week. Lingering clouds tomorrow, but the odds of a pop-up shower thunderstorm, as I showed you on Futurecast, are going to be lower than 10%. And we'll see a lot of sunshine inland as we head through the rest of this week and into the weekend as well. Hottest day will be Wednesday, and then we settle down to those near-average temperatures by the time Friday rolls around. On the coast, not much change. You're going to stay in the 60s, which is what you expect, but a little bit more sunshine breaking through, giving a lot of that foggist pattern.